Welcome back to the Fan Awakens, everyone. I'm Eli, and today I'm going to be talking about those Star Wars Celebration tickets. Now, this isn't me going scorched earth on why they sold out so fast or the ticket buying experience. I think that's been done. I have talked about it on another video with my friend at the Raincore channel, which I will link in the description. But this video is more about how can I move forward if I didn't get tickets, right? Now, I don't have all the answers on if it's possible to get tickets, but I do have some suggestions and some advice on how to position yourself to get those tickets if they become available, right? So, there's a few things. Now, I think the first step, sign up for the newsletter. If you go on StarWarsCelebration.com, they have a newsletter you can sign up for. I think there's so much valuable information in those. And yes, it may be a little torturous if you don't have tickets yet, seeing all the updates, but I promise if there is some sort of second ticket drop or a resale announced, it should certainly be in there. Again, I'll also be posting these things on my Instagram and I'll be making YouTube videos, so please follow along and those updates will be here. Beyond that, I think social media, sign up for the Star Wars Celebration Instagram, Twitter notifications. That's where I get a lot of my info first. Twitter posts first always. Instagram is next. But those things are valuable. I think that it just helps. Anything helps, right? So if they, let's say, because I saw scalpers, right? There were scalping scalp tickets on eBay and on Vivid Seats. Those have been since taken down. I don't know if they voided them or not, but let's just say they did. They found a way to void those tickets. They found out whose account it was, and they got those tickets recovered. It's not unprecedented for Celebration to do second drops. With how quickly these sold out, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do know that if it does, they'll be extremely limited, so you'll want to be fully informed. And I'll be, of course, posting about that here along the way. Another thing, this one maybe not as optimistic, but I would email them, right? I'll put the emails for ReedPop and Star Wars Disney below. And I think it's important. You can vent your frustrations. I'm not judging anyone for complaining. But I think bigger than that, it's asking, hey, you know, I wasn't able to get tickets. Will there be future opportunities? They may not give you much. They may not give you anything. There's maybe a copy and paste response they have ready to go. But it's important to keep at it. So don't just send one. I say send it every 2 months, every month, just to make sure that if that changes, you do know. I've emailed ReedPop plenty of times. I think that sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. But our voice is all we have sometimes, and that's got to be what we use. So I recommend emailing them. And because it's free, you know, you don't lose anything. It takes a couple minutes, no harm. I would just do it. Outside of that, as we get closer to Celebration, I do anticipate that, you know, like IGN or Funko or Hot Toys, they'll do some sort of giveaway. Someone, I'm not saying all of them, but usually some company does a ticket giveaway. Now, of course, that's not great chances, right? But I still think it's worth it. You can't win if you don't try. So keep your eye out for that. Now the biggest thing will be resale tickets. If they do an official resale, which they've done in the past, I've bought resale tickets. I've sold through their official platform. The reason I'm not so sure how it'll go is because typically they do that through Light Ticket Exchange, and that platform doesn't exist anymore. The company's gone. So given how, I think anytime you sell tickets a year in advance, plans change, travel falls out, life events happen. And since these tickets are technically not transferable, not resellable, they have to have some way for people who can't go to resell those tickets. So I would keep an eye out for that. Typically that doesn't open until a couple months before the convention. So I'm talking like January, February, maybe December. So keep your eyes peeled, but don't expect that anytime soon. If that does open, that would be the best bet. And in the past, I know a lot of times you'll declare what kind of tickets you want, and you'll have to give your card information. And essentially, if those tickets are available and they select you, you get auto charged. So keep that in mind. I don't know if it'll be different this time around, but worth noting. Now, when it comes to secondhand tickets that aren't official, so if you're buying them from eBay or Facebook Marketplace, I heavily advise against it. One, I hate giving scalpers what they want, but let's just say it's not even a scalper. Let's say they're selling it for face value, whatever the case, small markup. You're putting a lot of trust in the seller, because if it's before they have the badges in hand, you're trusting that they're going to call or email, change their, address information to yours, change it to your info so that those badges will mail to you. They could do all kinds of things. They can take your money and say it's done. They can report fraud or say that their tickets were stolen. So I just want to say, if you do plan on doing that, I get it. Desperate times, desperate measures. Be very careful. I wouldn't advise it, but if you are doing it, please just try and take all the precautions you can. Outside of that, I'd say, get steeped in the Star Wars community online. Go to Reddit, go to, my Instagram and mingle with people in the comments, whatever you can do to make friends. Sometimes people's plans fall out last minute in advance. Maybe someone, personally, ends up losing those tickets. So I think that, it's worth keeping in touch, and I'll always post updates on those sort of things. So, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and give some hope, give some ideas. And again, I know that process was a nightmare. This is my 4th celebration, and I've never had a ticket buying experience like that. We were lucky enough to get our tickets for the 3 of us, so I will be there next year. And worst case, I hope you guys can live vicariously through me, but I hope everyone who wants tickets are able to grab them. I know that's not always the case. I vastly underestimated how quickly these tickets would sell. But all we got is hope and our voice and staying in touch with all the news. Again, I'm going to link all that stuff below. And if you are interested in a more in-depth conversation on the actual experience and why it went the way it did, I did a longer form video with my friend at the Raincore channel, and I do a lot of videos there. We do reviews and we cover different Star Wars news. We talk about Celebration, so you can hit that channel up, and I'm over there quite a bit. Also, I do a video series called the Celebration Cantina. It's not a regular event. I don't do it weekly, but I do like to talk to people who have been to Celebration and who can share their experiences. So if that's something you're interested, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you about it. So hit me up in the comments here, DM me on Instagram, and I'd love to set that up. So again, I hope that everyone is able to experience Celebration one way or another. If you don't end up going to this one, keep saving that money and put it towards the next one. Get a great hotel. Hopefully it's in the States again, but if not, maybe you can put that money towards a great foreign trip to Celebration. I've done that. It was a great experience. But I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button to keep up, and remember, Star Wars is for everybody. May the Force be with you. Thank you for watching. Peace.